talked about a bill that you're talking about correcting some corruption that's going on
Yep.
right now. Does that include changing, you're talking a lot about changing the system that will not allow this kind of executive branch to do the kinds of things they're doing at this point?
One of the things this bill does is it blocks the revolving door between Wall Street and Washington. And let me just tell all of you a quick story here. You may remember that as a candidate, Donald Trump talked a lot about Goldman Sachs, right? Oh, terrible, Goldman Sachs. He then got elected and hired enough Goldman Sachs bankers to open a branch office of Goldman Sachs in the White House, right? Woo. Okay, but one of the people he hired is really special. His name's Gary Cohn, and he was a big deal official at Goldman Sachs, came over to the White House, and here's the deal. On his way out the door from Goldman Sachs gave him a little parting gift. Gold watch, party balloons, cake. Nope, $250 million. Yeah, because they knew what Gary's job was going to be. It was going to be exactly one thing, to muscle through a new tax law that would affect Goldman Sachs. So they give him, on the way out the door, $250 million as a party gift. I like to think of it as a pre-bribe. So he can go off and write the tax laws, which, by the way, shows you how smart Goldman Sachs is. Now, this is the deal. The revolving door between Washington and Wall Street, how do you know who those guys are working for? Is that guy working for Goldman Sachs, or is he working for the American public? My view is, if you want to come work for the American public, you got to work for the American public. But you don't get to do this running through the revolving door. Lobbyists shouldn't be hired in our government, right? Stop them. So there's a piece of what we would change of what's going on right now. I'll give you one more. And that is, you shouldn't be able, when you are, let's just say like President of the United States, to be able to run a business on the side. So people who have business with the United States government go take a suite of rooms in order to line whose pocket on this. It's fundamentally wrong. You want to be a public servant, then you got to get rid of the side businesses. You don't get to own individual stocks. That's over. Either you're in public service or you're on the private side, but nobody in America should be guessing who you actually work for. That's what this is about. So there's examples, 2 examples. Hope that's helpful.